Car chases are dangerous and unpredictable. Viewer discretion advised.
Breaking news out of Rosemead. This is a pursuit happening right now. You can see this dark colored sedan here on the highway. This is on the 105. This driver going around 90 miles an hour. This pursuit actually started in San Diego. We are told that the driver at one point was going the wrong way on the freeway and would not stop for officers, and still has not stopped for these officers, as you can see. Dave Avila joining us by phone this afternoon. Dave, you know, we often talk about how it is better that the pursuit is on the highway rather than surface streets, but this is still very dangerous. This driver going quite fast through Rosemead right now. I'm not sure if Dave can hear us, but we are watching as this driver is in the fast lane going more than 80 miles an hour in the fast lane, as you see, and comes up so quickly on these other drivers. Traffic at this time of day, not as bad as it could be here along the 105, but oftentimes we do see those patches of that traffic just really backing up in certain areas. Right now, this driver has some open roadway, but very close to other cars there, as you can see, trying to get between those two cars. They're very tight, very dangerous, because oftentimes when someone sees a car coming up this fast behind them, they are then forced to move over and don't know exactly which way this driver's going, but certainly going so fast, so close to those other cars there, coming close to the truck and then that white SUV. This driver going very fast in the 80s, close to 90. Now we're seeing 90 miles per hour. This dark colored sedan. From this vantage point, you do not see all of those cruisers behind this driver, but certainly a lot of CHP cruisers behind this car, coming up quickly behind the other drivers here who are unaware that this pursuit is happening right behind them. It did look like the driver was going to be trying to get off the highway there, but then again moving back over into the fast, really skirting the lines here, trying to maneuver between those other cars. But again, we're watching another, okay, we are going to try to speak again with Dave Avila, who is on the phone with us. Dave, are you there?
Yes, Amy, how are you?
Watching another pursuit this afternoon, Dave, almost 1 o'clock. Traffic not as bad as we know it can be here on the 105, but this driver going very fast, certainly a dangerous situation for other drivers on the 105.
Yeah, certainly. And this is started, from my sources have told me it started in San Diego, from this guy just going on, this suspect, I should say. We don't know if it's a male or female yet, haven't confirmed that yet. But, yeah, going this fast on the wrong side of the freeway. So that's when the pursuit started. And now we're westbound on the 105. We're heading into like LAX airspace. We'll be okay as long as we stay on this freeway, because we're in between Hawthorne airspace and Long Beach. I'm sorry, LAX airspace. But, yeah, and as you had mentioned, Amy, the I would say I'd rather see them on the freeways. Doesn't make it any less dangerous, but yes, you're absolutely right, because on the side streets, we have pedestrians, cross-traffic, schools, children playing, especially at this time of day. So being on the freeway, you're absolutely right. This is, I would prefer to see this here.
Yes, but as you mentioned, Dave, still certainly very dangerous, because this driver going so fast, people, you know, unaware that this pursuit is happening, they may see the lights and hear the sirens, and then they start to pull over. But, you know, this driver is coming up on them so quickly and really desperate. We don't know if this driver is under the influence, what made this driver go the wrong way on a freeway at a high rate of speed. And certainly officers don't know if this person is armed, certainly dangerous in this car, willing to do whatever it takes to get away from officers.
Yeah, absolutely. And we don't know. You're absolutely right. We don't know. The desperation is obvious. So was this suspect involved in some type of a major crime, a felony? You know, is the suspect a second striker looking at going to jail for a very, very long time? So many things to consider. You know, one thing we know is that at this speed on the freeway, we more than likely will not see a pit maneuver. They may throw some spike strips.
We're seeing this person stick their hands out of the windows. Dave, I know a lot of times your feed is a little behind ours, but this driver was just sticking their hands, and it looked like their face. It did look like a male driver there, sticking his face out of the window and hands. Not exactly sure why he was doing that, but certainly did see that.
Yeah, and we've seen it before, Amy. This all of a sudden, he may be talking to somebody on his cell phone, but all of a sudden now it's become like a show time for them, and this doesn't makes it extremely dangerous. He's not. As we have just verified, he is not keeping his eyes on the road. We've seen him almost run some vehicles off the freeway, just push them over to another lane, not physically, but luckily those drivers were well aware that this was going on. So CHP, they always err on the side of safety, so that's on the side of caution. So it's got to be pretty bad for them to stay with it at these speeds.
Yes, and from certain vantage points, we can see that they are keeping a bit of a distance, and then it seems like one of the cruisers will get a little closer to the cars. And sometimes you wonder if they're just trying to alert other drivers on the highway that this is coming to kind of warn them, Dave. Could that actually be the case?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely, Amy. It's some type of warning. It may just cause them just to look in the rearview mirror and just say, oh, what's going on? And yeah, we've seen it all. We've all been on the freeways here in Los Angeles and look in the rearview mirror, and I tell my wife, I say, hey, just be advised, we got a car coming just yesterday, a car going by us at over 100 miles per hour as we were heading eastbound out of L.A.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and this driver, Dave, seems to be struggling a little bit to stay in the center of the lane. I don't know if it's because perhaps they are under the influence or maybe looking in their rearview mirror a lot, but this driver's definitely been, swerving in the lanes, going over the lines there. And so you just don't know how desperate this driver might be and how impaired, if impaired. But we're certainly seeing a lot of, kind of back and forth, really straddling the lanes there. And we just know how dangerous this can be.
Yeah,
look at that. This driver now making their way over a couple of lanes, perhaps getting off the highway, or just maybe trying to avoid all of these other cars. But it's certainly dangerous, and we're watching. Again, this is in Inglewood. Now this driver going back over to the fast lanes, just really zigzagging over the 105, and that's certainly very dangerous because the other drivers on this highway just don't know where they should go to get away from this driver. We're showing our viewers on the right side of the screen that driver putting their hands out of the window, and at one point it seems like he's trying to stick his face out as well. Not sure, as you mentioned, Dave, that perhaps someone's on the phone with them saying, hey, is that you on the news I'm watching? And he's trying to show off a little bit, but certainly makes the situation even more dangerous.
Absolutely. Yeah, and then we're going to start getting into the busier part. I mean, this is very rare. I ever see this freeway, the 105, this close to LAX, where you don't have that many vehicles. So we're very lucky in that sense. But yeah, you're right. The longer we're looking at this suspect, the more we can see him weaving around. Now, whether it's because he's doing other stuff, he's under the influence or something, but the speed's up to over 70 miles per hour. You can see the other. I think he's probably doing around 80 at some point going on those vehicles.
Yes, even up close to 90, Dave, we have seen, and it's so dangerous. Now, you haven't heard by chance if this car is stolen. We're just at this point hearing that the driver was going the wrong way on a freeway in San Diego.
Yeah, I'm still waiting. What they're trying to do is they're trying to check with other departments because others go through different agencies. CHP right now is real busy, so they're not putting anything out as far as I know. But I'm sure, they ran the plate. It comes back either stolen or not stolen. And sometimes we see where some people don't realize that their vehicle is not in the driveway. It's actually right here being pursued on the freeway in Los Angeles. So we don't know if that's going to happen, if that's happened or not. But with this suspect,
Yes.
He's throwing his hand out there saying hi, and that's not a good thing either.
Yes, this is West Imperial Highway that we are watching now at Kilroy Center in Westchester. Lots of open roadway here from this vantage point, but we can also see that cruiser getting very close to this dark colored sedan, watching to see where this driver is going to go, slowing down and perhaps making his way off of the freeway. That cruiser right there. And in a situation like this, Dave, could they perhaps try a pit maneuver?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, they'll go ahead and try it. They got the backup there. With those blacked out windows, we're not sure what they plan on doing. But especially with the actions of this suspect, I mean, if it was me, I'd say, yeah, if I was the watch commander, if I was the incident commander, I would just say go for it. Let's end this thing before it gets any worse, and especially when it gets down into LAX traffic.
Yeah, this is just, tough to watch. You just want them to stop this driver. It almost looks like he's toying with the officers, kind of doing this back and forth. And now there's that car. Looks like he just put perhaps a cell phone out of the window there. We're struggling here because of the buildings and the overpasses. Can't quite see that driver, but right before he went under there, we saw the arm out, and it looked like he was holding onto a cell phone. But certainly, seeing him zigzag along the roadway felt like he was trying to toy with the officers.
Yeah. Like I said, it's showtime for some of these suspects. He's not running as fast, so we're happy with that. It's going to be kind of difficult to maneuver in here as far as helicopter-wise because you are between LAX and Hawthorne airspace, but you're safe right in there. So they'll just stay with them. But
oh my goodness, it looks like he's just really toying, doing this. This is so dangerous. He's, we have to wonder if, if this driver is in fact under the influence, because this is just tough to watch. This is very dangerous, almost as if he's playing a game, but we know how dangerous this can be if he does in fact hit another driver. We're getting a closer look there in the window at this driver's face. Definitely a man, and just tough to see this, Dave.
Yeah, it is. And I'll tell you what, I'm just a little surprised with the CHP being involved in this pursuit that they didn't pit him earlier with the way that they are. They're very aggressive with their pit maneuvers, and they want to end it real fast. They have mutual aid. You have LAX police there. They're not LAPD, but they're a function of their own police department. They're LA airport police, so they'll be involved in this. GHP's involved, LAPD will be involved. Hawthorne may have, they were probably sitting there waiting for him. But wow. With mutual aid, so as you
he's
see
right next to the airport now, Dave.
Yes, and that's what I'm talking about. That's why our helicopter is not going to be able to go in there. So he'll pop up on the other side, the Century Boulevard side. So we're not allowed to cross those runways. So that's why we got this shot the way we do now. It's going to be a distance away. LAPD may be able, or LASD, I'm not really sure who's over it, will be able to go between the runways, but they'll have to go high, climb over, and then drop down in between the runways, and they'll be able to work it that way.
Well, we're watching this, Dave, and we have not seen those cruisers come out of that tunnel there. We don't know if this driver stopped, if they were able to stop. Oh, now we see. There they are. And it looks like they're trying to make a pit maneuver now. But this driver is just zigzagging, I'm sure making it a little more difficult for them to actually get a good pit in there.
Yeah, I just wish they could just maneuver their vehicles right in there and just end this thing. And there's just, I mean, there's this has gotten so far over the years. It's just gotten worse and worse with these pursuits.
They are trying. He is getting very close to the airport now. And
yes, he is.
This is just, there it is. They just did the pit, and it looks like the door's opening now, Dave, and we're watching. He's making a run for it. I think maybe he thought he could make a jump, but could not, and now he has stopped.
Okay.
Although they're backing up. I don't know if he's got his hand, if he's talking to someone on the phone, but we're watching here. Maybe he's just got his hand up. I can't imagine that they're telling him to just stay there. He's going to try to make a jump.
You know, Amy, this was an excellent pit maneuver. If you notice, the first, number one vehicle, primary, pit him. Secondary unit came in and blocked him. Now this guy is so desperate. I don't think he's going to jump. But if he does, good luck to him, because that is a long fall.
It's tough to tell from this vantage point how high up he really is. But you know, you can tell they're talking to him. I'm sure encouraging him to get down, give himself up. You can see some construction workers there watching the scene there. This is, you know, certainly a precarious situation. It looks like they've got a less than lethal rifle out there that they may try to use. But again, that's tough if he were to fall down that embankment. But you can tell he's just really undecided on what he should do, as he has a bit of an audience here, as those looks like 6 people standing there, construction workers watching, maybe even more I'm seeing there on the other side of all of those tools and that equipment. But you just hope that after all of this, he would give himself up. We know that this roadway here, this exit there, is now shut down for anyone trying to make it to the airport, which is also tough because most of us are frantically trying to get to the airport when we have a flight. And so now those folks are delayed, and we just hope that this person will give himself up quickly and safely. Yeah,
one thing is, and I mentioned it before, is that CHP, when they're in pursuit, they like other cities to back off. They bring their own units in, and any departments like that. And the reason being is for post-pursuit management. All these CHP officers are working off the same page. They went through the same academy. And I don't think this guy's going to jump. I think he's just delaying the inevitable. I think he wanted to until he looked down and seen it's about a 40-foot drop to concrete. So I really don't think he's going to jump.
Well, Dave, you know, we are now showing our viewers 2 images. One side, you couldn't quite see how steep a drop it was. Now on the right side of your screen, you can see just how steep that drop is. And as you mentioned, Dave, that is concrete roadway right underneath him. From the other vantage point, it almost looked as though it wasn't that steep and that there may be grass underneath that. But certainly that angle was not as accurate as this one certainly is. And that is a steep drop. And there are still cars going underneath that area. So we just hope that this person will just give himself up.
Yeah, I'm sure they're negotiating with or advising LAX police, and they're going to get there. Most of them are on foot, so what they'll do is they'll try and get some black and whites in there to stop that traffic east and west there, as you had mentioned. But right now, this is contained as far as any type of pursuit. And this is exactly what we just wanted. Everybody wanted to see with this thing. Just hold it. So right now, it's just going to be a matter of just talking to the suspect. And he doesn't look as inebriated or high as we had thought earlier. He's balancing himself on that pole pretty good.
Yes, he is. And we just all hope that he will give himself up and not jump.
Yes.
You know, no matter the charges that he is facing, it certainly is not worth making that jump. It's tough to watch this. You just want to help him get off that ledge there and get him to safety, because we certainly don't want to see anyone lose their life. Yeah, Desmond, and you know, we've been talking about this since this all started with the suspect driving the wrong way on the roadway and then really doing this cat and mouse action.
There we go.
Oh, they just got him. They just got him.
Yep.
And did you notice, did they just grab him, or did he give himself up?
No, it was real quick. They just you know, made a calculated decision. I was kind of wondering if that's what they were going to do. I mean, this is you know, the situation with them right next to him has been going on now for more than an hour. And at what point, how much more, you know, can be said if you're that close and you're able to make a move? And you know, they had the giant inflatable bag underneath. It seems like they made the calculated decision. Let's get this over with. Let's get these ramps reopened. You know, thousands of people are losing incredible amounts of time because of this suspect. They made that calculated decision. This person is now in handcuffs, and they're going to the back of the cruiser.
Yeah, Desmond, this is certainly good to see that it is ending peacefully. Although, as you mentioned, a lot of people have perhaps missed flights, such long delays here. But, initially they had 2 negotiators talking to him. We're showing folks again on the right side of the screen how they were able to grab him. And then they added 2 more. And as we were watching this go on, they kept getting closer and closer and closer to him. And we were wondering if, in fact, they would just go ahead and grab him as he was up there. Earlier, when we were talking to Dave Avila, he was saying that, they have to be careful that they don't end up getting pulled back with him over the side of that roadway as well. Even with that airbag there being in place, it certainly breaks the fall, but people can still end up hurt. So we are happy to see that they were, in fact, able to get him. It looks like they are taking him over to the ambulance to be checked out. We don't know if he was under the influence of something or if he was having some type of mental crisis that caused him to first be driving on the wrong side of the road, then doing that, zigzagging cat and mouse with the officers, and then again perching himself up on the roadway there, really putting himself in danger all along.